Ladies and gentlemen, I have never, ever been so tempted to violate my principles than right at this exact moment in this insane, utterly delusional, turbo clown market that we are experiencing. My principles tell me that I should buy VT no matter what, no matter how high the stock market goes up, no matter how bad the economy looks, just buy and buy and buy and buy and hold and hold and hold and reinvest dividends. But you look at what's going on in this stock market now, and it's just screaming bubble. It's screaming pending disaster. I open my phone every day when the market's open, and I see VT just green every single freaking day. I looked at the 6-month chart, and VT is up like 33% in 6 months. Valuations are almost at all-time historical highs. I believe the Schiller PE is sitting at 40. And I'm seeing all these announcements come out that are really like making me scratch my head. Like, inflation's starting to tick up again, but the Fed's cutting rates. Oh my God. AMD and OpenAI just signed an agreement where OpenAI could purchase up to 10% of AMD shares, and AMD is going to sell OpenAI a bunch of chips for their AI. And there just seems to be this huge, insane, overwhelming tidal wave of greed, entitlement, and euphoria in every single retail investor I see. It's honestly terrifying what's going on in the stock market right now. Now, if you're an irrational person, or if you're human, because, humans are irrational, we are not purely rational creatures, you may be getting swept up in this euphoric bubble where you look at your account and every day your stocks are up 2 or 3%. Your net worth is exploding. You feel like you're rich, that we're going to the promised land, that AI is going to change the world. And, you may truly believe this, okay? And while anything is possible, I truly, truly believe we are in an insane euphoric time in the stock market where retail investors are just piling into the most highly volatile crap codes you could possibly imagine, where people are trading call options and cryptocurrencies like it's easy, like it's the sure path to wealth. And you see some of the dumbest people, the dumbest freaking people, making ungodly amounts of money, okay? If you think that 2021 was a clown market, I actually think this is starting to get worse than that, okay? And the reason this market is dangerous is because a lot of these companies that are now going ballistic actually have profits. In 2021, you had a lot of clownish garbage companies going to the moon that were inherently worthless. And it was very easy to identify, at least in my opinion, that we're in some kind of turbo hype clown bubble, okay? Tattooed Chef, Honest My Bonest, all these companies that were just absolute trash, Voyager Digital, on and on and on. They were all going ballistic back in 2021. And I was looking around and I'm like, this doesn't make sense to me, okay? These companies are literally worthless. A lot of these companies don't even have freaking revenue, okay, like Hyliion. And everybody was laughing and looking at me like I was a moron. And what do you know? A lot of those hype stocks utterly freaking collapsed. But now we're in this new dangerous market where you have all these large tech companies making insane investments in building out AI infrastructure. You see stocks like Palantir trading at valuations of 120 price to sales. You see all this madness going on, but you look and you say, well, the companies have profits. So because they have profits and they're growing earnings, their valuations must be justified, right? I disagree. A company that doesn't have revenue is inherently a clown stock, right? A company that does have revenue and even profits can also be a clown stock if its valuation gets completely divorced from reality. Take Tesla, okay? I was 100% right about Tesla. You can laugh at me in the comments. You can laugh at me. You can call me an idiot and a moron. I called that company's Fundamental collapse to a T. I said they were going to peak out in market share. I said they were not going to grow at 50% revenue forever and ever. I said their margins were going to compress with competition. Everything I predicted turned out to be true. Everything. Okay? Did the stock go down? Of course not. It's up massively. It's in the 400s. This world is insane. Everything's just going up. And while a lot of people think that's a good thing, it scares the crap out of me that we have these insane returns in the stock market. And I'm making money too. Okay, VT's flirting with $140 per share. Okay, yes, on paper, I'm approaching millionaire status too. But do I feel like a millionaire? No, I feel like a lot of hype and expectations are built into this market, and it could come crashing down at any time. And then all those paper gains that I had were nothing, okay? But a lot of you are missing this broader picture, and it's terrifying to me. Now, how this ends, I have no idea. I think we're in a ginormous bubble. I personally think we are. And I've never been more tempted to violate my beliefs of just buying and holding forever. More specifically, because I'm about to become self-employed. And, my income is going to drop precipitously. And I would rather lock in some gains and have money in cash and liquid cash that I know is not going to drop massively in value at a moment's freaking notice. So I've really felt the temptation to sell some stocks in my taxable account. And honestly, if we go into like turbo hyperdrive bubble, I might sell, I think, about 12 more grand of VT in my taxable account in January to shift the tax burden into next year when my income is lower, and to fortify my treasury holdings so that I have $72,000 or 2 years of expenses, assuming zero income, stashed away. Because at times like this, you can't let your greed overwhelm you, okay? Especially if you need the money in the short term, you cannot let your greed overwhelm you. If you let your greed overwhelm your senses, you're gonna keep holding and holding onto these highly volatile, stupid stocks, and you think you're just going to the promised land, that you're gonna be rich forever, and then all of your wealth is gonna be yanked out from under you. This happened in 2021, okay? So if you're in these highly speculative stocks, or you're in Bitcoin, or if you need money in the next year or two, and you have it in the stock market, you need to really reconsider what you're doing. You need to really think about what's going on in this market and the potential for a market crash or correction, which is always there. It's always there. So for me, it's hard. Like, I'm not going to touch my I'm never going to touch my tax advantage accounts ever. They're just going to sit there. But when it comes to my taxable accounts, I'm in a new state of mind where I may need access to my capital. And it's very, very tempting to take profits in my taxable account, put it in treasuries, so I know the money's there if I absolutely freaking need it. It's that cushion, it's that feeling of security that I don't get from the stock market. I've never felt secure in the short term in the stock market. When it comes to cash and liquidity, I have felt a lot more secure, because while there is inflation, at least it's not going to drop 30% in a freaking month. Okay, so if you're in these highly speculative leverage positions, you may want to consider taking some profits. Yes, you'll pay tax. I get it. Okay, but I don't think this can go on forever. This is terrifying to me. I'm actually terrified for a lot of you in your speculative freaking stocks. You think you're smart. You're not. You're riding a bubble, and bubbles pop. Okay, and I think we're in one. It doesn't mean AI is not going to work out in the long run. Long run, I'm bullish on markets. But in the short term, you could get utterly obliterated. You have no idea, okay? Or maybe, I guess you didn't learn your lesson from 2021, 2022. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Are you tempted to sell? Are you tempted to just keep buying? Like, what are you doing with your portfolio? But it's a very powerful temptation. January, if the market's up massively, just to take 12,000 in profits, put it into treasuries, have 72 grand in liquid cash, and have that be as like protection for self-employment. Let me know what you guys are doing. Are you just buying and holding? Are you doing other crazy stuff? like, subscribe, consider joining as a member to support the channel, and consider booking a free 30-minute tax consultation with me, Christopher Bell, certified public accountant, for your 2025 taxes. Talk to you later. Cheers!